Tom Wagner sat across from his 8-year-old daughter Emma at their usual booth in Rosie's Diner. The Friday night rush was building around them, but their corner felt like a quiet island in the noise. Emma pushed a French fry through ketchup, her small voice barely rising above the clatter of dishes. "Dad, can I ask you something?" Tom leaned forward, giving her his full attention the way he always did since her mother passed 2 years ago. Those blonde curls of hers caught the light, just like Sarah's used to. "Always, sweetheart. What's on your mind?" Before Emma could answer, Ray's voices cut through the diner's hum. A woman in a business suit stood near the counter, her hands raised defensively. 2 men in their 30s had her cornered, their aggressive postures unmistakable. "You think you can just walk away from what you owe?" The taller one grabbed her arm roughly. "Your husband made promises." Tom's jaw tightened. He'd seen enough trouble in his construction work to recognize danger when it showed up. Emma's hand found his across the table. "Daddy, please help her." Those 4 words carried the weight of every lesson he'd tried to teach his daughter about standing up for what's right, about being the kind of person who doesn't look away when someone needs help. Tom stood slowly, his 6-foot frame unfolding from a booth. Years of physical labor had kept him strong, but he'd never been one to go looking for fights. He'd avoided plenty of them since becoming a single father. Emma needed him whole, not heroic, but she was watching him now with those trusting eyes. He crossed the diner in measured steps. The woman's face was pale with fear. Up close, he could see she was probably in her 50s, well-dressed but trembling. "Gentlemen," Tom kept his voice level, "I think the lady would like some space." The taller man released the woman's arm, but turned his aggression toward Tom. "This doesn't concern you, buddy. Walk away." "Can't do that." Tom positioned himself between them and the woman. "Whatever business you think you have, this isn't the place." The second man, broader and meaner looking, stepped closer. "You really want to do this in front of your little girl?" That threat hit its mark, but Tom held his ground. Behind him, he heard Rosie calling the police. He just needed to buy time. "I want you 2 to leave. Now!" What happened next came fast. The broad one swung first. Tom ducked, muscle memory from his younger days kicking in. He caught the man's arm, used his momentum to spin him into a booth. The crack of the impact echoed through the suddenly silent diner. The tall one came at him with more caution, but Tom was already moving. A solid punch to the gut doubled him over. Another to the jaw sent him stumbling backward into the counter. Both men scrambled for the door as sirens wailed in the distance. Tom turned to check on the woman, his hands shaking now that the adrenaline was fading. "Are you all right, ma'am?" She nodded, tears streaming down her face. "Thank you. I don't know what they would have done if you hadn't." "Daddy." Emma crashed into him, wrapping her thin arms around his waist. Tom knelt down, pulling her close. "I'm okay, sweetheart. Everything's okay now." But his heart was hammering. What had he done? What if one of them had a weapon? What if Emma had seen him get hurt or worse? The police arrived, took statements. The woman, who introduced herself as Margaretchen, explained that her late husband had borrowed money from the wrong people. These men had been harassing her for weeks. Tom gave his account, accepted the officer's nods of approval, and finally guided Emma back to their booth. Their dinner was cold now. "You did the right thing, Dad." Emma's voice was small but certain. Mom would be proud. Those words cracked something open in Tom's chest. He blinked back the burn in his eyes. "I hope so, baby. I really hope so." They drove home in comfortable silence, Emma's hand in his across the console. Tom helped her with homework, read her 2 chapters from their current book, and tucked her into bed with an extra-long hug. Alone in the living room, he replayed the evening, the fear, the choice, the relief that everyone was safe. He'd done what felt right in the moment, but the weight of what could have gone wrong pressed down on him. Saturday morning brought sunshine through the kitchen windows. Tom was making pancakes when the doorbell rang. Emma ran to answer it before he could stop her. Through the doorway, Tom saw a silver luxury sedan in his driveway. A woman in an expensive coat stood on his porch, Margaretchen beside her. "Dad, there are people here to see you." Tom wiped his hands on a towel and walked to the door, confused. The well-dressed woman extended her hand with a warm smile. Mr. Wagner? I'm Catherine Lee, CEO of Pacific Holdings. Margaret is my sister. Tom shook her hand, still processing. She told me what you did last night, Catherine continued. How you put yourself at risk to protect her. I wanted to thank you personally. Margaret stepped forward, her eyes still grateful. I've been terrified for months. Those men, they wouldn't stop. But after last night, after what you did, they've been arrested. The police have been building a case. Your intervention gave them what they needed. Tom felt Emma press against his side, listening intently. I just did what anyone should do, ma'am. But most people don't, Catherine said gently. They look away. They tell themselves it's not their problem. You didn't, and you have a daughter watching you make that choice. She handed Tom an envelope. Pacific Holdings is always looking for people with integrity, people who do the right thing even when it's hard. I'd like to offer you a position overseeing our construction projects. The salary is in that envelope, along with my direct number. Benefits include full medical education fund for Emma and a signing bonus that should ease any financial concerns. Tom opened the envelope with trembling hands. The number made his breath catch. It was triple what he made now. Life-changing money. I don't know what to say. Say you'll think about it. Catherine smiled. Margaret told me you're raising Emma alone, that you're a good father who works hard and treats people with respect. Those are the qualities I value most. The job is yours if you want it. After they left, Tom sat at the kitchen table, Emma climbing into his lap, despite being almost too big for it. Is this because you helped that lady, Dad? I think so, sweetheart. See? Good things happen when you're brave. Tom held her close, breathing in the scent of her strawberry shampoo. Maybe she was right. Maybe teaching her to stand up for others, to be brave when it mattered, was worth the risk. He thought about Sarah, about the man she'd married, and the father she'd wanted him to be. He thought about the example he was setting every single day for the little girl in his arms. You know what, Emma? I think you might be the wisest person I know. She giggled against his chest. Does this mean we can get a puppy? Tom laughed, the sound filling their small kitchen with warmth. We'll see. We'll see. Outside, morning light painted their neighborhood gold. Inside, a father held his daughter and felt, for the first time in 2 years, like the future might be bright after all. Sometimes the right choice costs everything. Sometimes it changes everything. And sometimes, if you're very lucky, those two things turn out to be the same.